Imagine a world where the lifeblood of our planet, water, becomes a weapon, where rivers spark conflicts, droughts ignite tensions, and every drop becomes a prize. This is the grim reality of the global water wars, a simmering threat fueled by a shrinking resource. Today, over 2 billion people face water scarcity, and that number is rising. Climate change, population growth, and unsustainable practices are pushing our water resources to the brink. In this video, we dive deep into the complex world of water wars, exploring the conflicts brewing around the globe and the potential consequences for all of us.
Next, a development on that controversial mega dam on the River Nile. Ethiopia, Egypt and Sudan have agreed to resume talks over it.
After 45-year-long wait, India has finally stopped flow of water from Ravi River into Pakistan.
Water, the essence of life, covers about 71% of the Earth's surface. Yet, only 2.5% of it is fresh, and a mere 0.33% of planet's fresh water is directly available to humanity and other animal life forms. To put into perspective, if the world's water supply was 100 liters, then usable freshwater supply would be mere 0.003 liter, 1/2 teaspoon approximately. As our planet's population soars beyond 7.5 billion, the demand for this precious resource has led to a silent crisis, a crisis that could escalate into global water wars. Across the globe, from the vast expanses of the Sahara to the bustling cities of Asia, water scarcity is becoming the norm, not the exception. Conflict over water is not a new phenomenon, and over 1298 conflicts over water have been recorded in human history. However, most of the conflicts were over oceans and saltwater resources, for example, fishing rights. But now, the most severe conflicts are over freshwater. According to the UN, there are 263 lake and river basins and around 300 groundwater basins and aquifers across the world that cross international boundaries. Some of these, such as the Nile, cover several countries, where Egypt, Ethiopia, and Sudan are locked in a contentious battle over the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Ethiopia's bid to become a major power producer has Egypt fearing for its lifeblood, the Nile waters that sustain its population of over 100 million. And then there's the Colorado River, a lifeline for 7 U.S. states. Decades of overallocation, drought, and climate change have brought this mighty river to its knees, sparking legal battles and forcing difficult conversations about water rights and usage. Meanwhile, in Asia, India, and Pakistan's dispute over the Indus Waters Treaty illustrates the complexities of shared water resources. In April 2021, a border clash erupted between Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan over dispute of irrigation water distribution. The conflict killed 40 people and displaced more than 30,000 residents. The confrontation stopped after Russia-led diplomatic settlement, but the core issue still persists. In fact, these are the most at-risk places identified. But there are several more where an increase in conflict could occur. And it's not just transnational issues either. Groundwater depletion has become so severe in some places, such as Beijing, that it risks igniting internal conflict. But how did we get here? The very first explanation is climate change. Glaciers, the Earth's ancient reservoirs, are retreating, and seasonal rains are more unpredictable than ever. In places like California, prolonged droughts have become a haunting challenge, pushing the state to the brink of water bankruptcy. As the effects of climate change continue to affect us, it is anticipated that the frequency of these events will rise. But climate change isn't acting alone. Although we technically have the same amount of water as the dinosaurs had, the usability factor has changed. Unprecedented population growth and expansion have put immense pressure on our water supplies. Cities like Cape Town, South Africa, have teetered on the edge of day zero, a day when taps run dry. Countries are building megadams to control water flow, sparking disputes that could escalate into full-blown conflicts. For instance, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam on the Nile has become a focal point of tension between Ethiopia, Sudan, and Egypt. The economic divide also plays a significant role in the water crisis. Wealthier nations and individuals can afford technologies and infrastructure to mitigate water scarcity, such as desalination plants and water recycling systems, leaving poorer communities vulnerable. This economic disparity exacerbates the water divide, turning scarcity into a crisis for the underprivileged. And let's not forget contaminated water and the role it plays in the global water crisis. Wastewater is water that has been impacted by human activity. Many parts of the world lack adequate systems for managing this type of water. According to UN statistics, 1.8 billion people use water that may be contaminated by chemicals, feces, or other potentially toxic contaminants, because 44% of household wastewater is reused globally, and 80% of wastewater flows back into the ecosystem without being treated or reused. The United Nations warns that a quarter of humanity lacks access to safe drinking water, and nearly half of the global population has no access to basic sanitation. Unless action is taken, 60% of the world's population, that's about 5 billion people, could face water supply issues by 2050. But behind the statistics are human stories. Farmers grappling with failing crops, families walking miles for a bucket of water, and children who've never seen a flowing river. In India, farmers in Punjab face suicide as their wells dry up. In Kenya, pastoralists clash over access to water points. And in Flint, Michigan, citizens fight for their right to clean water in the face of governmental neglect. In Yemen, one of the world's most severe humanitarian crises unfolds, exacerbated by water scarcity. And in the Pacific, small island nations face existential threats as rising sea levels contaminate their freshwater sources. These stories remind us that the water crisis is not just about resources, but about human rights, health, and dignity. Moreover, the impact of water scarcity extends beyond humans to the very web of life. Aquatic ecosystems, once teeming with life, stand on the brink of collapse. The Aral Sea, once the fourth largest lake in the world, has almost vanished, a stark reminder of how water mismanagement can destroy entire ecosystems. Similarly, in Southeast Asia, the Mekong River, a lifeline for millions, faces threats from climate change and a cascade of dams built along its length, impacting fisheries and sediment transport. This has profound implications for food security, livelihoods, and the cultural heritage of the region. And as we stand at this critical juncture, witnessing the repercussions of our past actions, we are also presented with a choice to rewrite the ending of this story. But the future doesn't have to be a fight for the last drop. The global water wars are not just conflicts over a shrinking resource. They're a call to action, a reminder that water is more than a commodity. It's a shared heritage, a collective responsibility, and the key to our future. By implementing sustainable water management practices, investing in innovative technologies, and fostering international cooperation, we can avert the water wars and build a more water-secure future. But individual action also plays a crucial role. Reducing our water footprint, supporting responsible water policies, and raising awareness about the water crisis are all ways we can contribute to a more sustainable future. So, as we conclude our journey, let's remember that water connects us all. It's the thread that weaves through the fabric of life, nurturing our planet, our communities, and our future. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the complexities of the global water crisis. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. Keep watching and keep learning.